Hey everyone, this is the technical drawing title block layout demo. There is also a Word document in the Canvas page that has this as well if you'd like to follow along instead of watching the video and reading and following those directions. That document is called title block layout. So here we go. You're going to need a few things for this. We're obviously going to need a piece of paper. We need our architect scale. We're going to need 4 pieces of tape. We need our 6H pencil, and we need our HB pencil, as well as our 30, 60, 90 triangle, and then obviously the parallel straight edge, but that's stuck to the desk, so you should be good to go. So here we go. The first thing that I want to do is, remember, I want to tape this piece of paper straight with my parallel straight edge. So I'm going to roll it in between my fingers and bump it against the straight edge, tape down the top corner, tape down the other top corner, then slide my straight edge away and get both bottom corners. Remember, I don't want to be too far in because when we draw our title block in here, I'm going to have a corner, so I don't want to have to move the pieces of tape to finish that corner. So, step 1, going along with the Word document. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a 1/2 inch down from the top and a 1/4 inch up from the bottom. Remember, when I measure, I want to measure against something straight, so for me, I'm going to use the edge of my paper right now. I'm going to mark in a 1/2 inch down, mark a 1/4 inch up. So these first 2 lines are going to be construction lines, so we're going to use our 6H. Remember, these should be the only gray lines on our paper. Try not to put too much weight on the pencil and keep them nice and light. So top one, all the way across. Bottom one, the same thing. The reason these go all the way across is because I don't know where I want that corner to start and stop, so we do these as nice light construction lines. Step 2 is going to be drawing our vertical border lines in here. Now I'm going to switch to my HB because I now know where it starts and stops, so I can just draw it and finish it right at the end. No reason to draw it as a construction line and then trace it. So these ones are a 1/4 inch in, so I'm going to mark in a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, try and make small tick marks so you can hide them with your line. Take your 30, 60, 90 triangle, hold it against your straight edge so it's perpendicular and vertical. Take your time, start it right on that bottom line, spin the pencil so it stays nice and consistent, and end that line right at the top one. Slow down as you get to the top if you need to. Come over to the right side and do the same thing. Okay, so that's step 2. Step 3, I'm now going to heavy in my top and bottom construction lines because I now know where it's starting and stopping, Oops. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up 5/8 of an inch from the bottom construction line for another border line because that's going to be where my text block goes. I personally mark that first, once again from the construction line, 5/8, 2 lines past the half. And now I can just trace over the top line, try and be directly on top of it so you don't have a double line there. Same thing, starting and stopping right at the corners. Come down to that title block line that I marked. Come down to my bottom line, trace over that one. And we are now ready for step 4. So step 4 is we're going to break this block up into a couple spaces for some different text. So I'm going to mark 3.5 inch from this border line to the right for one line, and then from the left, from this line, I'm going to go 1 inch, off of that one another inch, and then off of that another inch. So I'm going to have 3 lines there. So when I measure, remember, I don't want to move the scale if I can help it. So this one's nice and easy. Once again, off the border line, 3.5, little tick mark, 11.5 to 10.5, 10.5 to 9.5, 9.5 to 8.5. There's my 3 marks there. Take your time on these ones. It's really easy to shoot past that top line since it's such a short distance. And we are ready for the last step. So the last step is we're going to put some lines in the bottom here as construction lines to help us with our lettering so we know how tall it's going to be. So we've got 5/8 here. Each line is going to be 1/8 of an inch away from each other. So if I take my scale, line it up on this straight line so I know I'm definitely straight, 1/8 of an inch is every other line. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4 marks. The 5th mark would end up top. Once again, these are construction lines with my 6H. I just take these nice and light, drag them all the way across. Once again, this is just to help with lettering so all the letters are the same height. Once you get that last one done, your title block is done. Hopefully it looks essentially like you just stamped the whole thing right on there. From here, we are ready to go to the first drawing. So good luck.